Thank you for watching another video with Money Madness. My name is Blair. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Help me to get the word out onto the street. Help as many people as possible. That's what I'm all about. Thank you. Today I wanted to discuss the three-legged stool of retirement. So, when we retire, that's normally understood to mean that we don't work anymore. It doesn't have to be that. It could be that you just work part-time, or you could, I don't know, I guess you could call yourself retired and still work full-time, but probably you either don't work or you work part-time, more like a semi-retirement. So the three-legged stool, those three things that would support you traditionally in retirement are, and this is for American people in the United States. If you're in another country, you will have to kind of make this equivalent to whatever you have there. And it's probably pretty similar. So the first thing is Social Security. And the earliest you can get that is age 62. And then you would get your greatest amount, your highest amount at age 70 if you're still working. So somewhere between 62 and 70, you would take Social Security. The second thing that people used to be able to count on in retirement, not so much anymore, is a defined benefit pension. So a defined benefit pension. And what that is you do 20 years with the company or with the government, or you do 30 years, or you do 40 years, a chunk of time, probably at least 20, and you get a check for life. In the case of the military, if you do 20 years in the military, you can have a check for life at the youngest at age 37 if you go in at age 17. But a lot of pensions, they don't start until you're older. So you might not get them right as you retire. You might get that more in your 60s. But some do start right after you retire, even if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. But the thing about defined benefit pensions is that there aren't that many of them left. Anyway, number 3 is personal savings and investments. And so Social Security, let's start out with that one first. Social Security was started during the depths of the Great Depression, 1935. And what if you notice on your paycheck, it's called FICA, or Federal Insurance Contributions Act. So the FICA tax is Social Security and Medicare. And Medicare you can get when you're 65. As I said, Social Security you can get as early as 62. So the tax is, 7.65%, I believe, and you pay the 7.65 if you're an employee, and your employer pays 7.65, so it's 15.3 total. If you're self-employed, you have to pay the full 15.3, but that's what FICA is. It's you don't have a choice; you have to pay it. If you're working and making money, it is contributing towards your Social Security or your retirement income and your retirement medical care through Medicare. So that's the first leg of the stool, of the three-legged stool, Social Security. The second leg, which really not many people have this leg anymore, is a defined benefit pension. And as I said, that's when you put in a certain amount of time. They're all a little different. A certain amount of time, and whenever you retire right away or later on, maybe in your 60s, you'll get a check for life, like an annuity. So you'll get a check for the rest of your life, something you can count on. And this is a nice benefit. And we used to have this more back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s. But companies have been phasing these out because they're really expensive and the employer takes the risk. So the third leg of the stool is personal savings and investments. And what that is it's any money that you can gather together over your working life. And really, this is the main one to focus on. It's the one you have the most control over. is you want to, of course, have money in a bank account for liquid needs, for big expenses or things that you have to pay for. But you also want to invest your money in things like taxable brokerage accounts, in IRAs, which stands for an individual retirement account, either traditional or Roth. And you also have 401ks, 403bs, 457s. Those all just coincide with the section of the tax code. That's why they have that number. So, for example, it's section 401k of the tax code. But those are the type of things that you can invest on your own and build your wealth. And then when you're 59 and a half or older, you can take them out penalty free. And really, if you think about the three-legged stool, it's really not three legs anymore. It's two legs. You have your Social Security, which I feel like we can count on that. I mean, we that should be fine. I mean, they might have to cut the benefits back, but I think it's on solid ground for the most part. So you'll have your Social Security, and then whatever money you can save, you can save and invest. And that's how people have retired in all this time. And what happens is, if you don't save enough money, if you don't invest enough money over your working life, you very well might have to work until you die. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to do that. I mean, I at least don't want to have to work until I'm really old. But if you like your job, I guess, whatever. But that's the three-legged stool of retirement. Once again, Social Security, defined benefit pensions, which are going the way of the dinosaur, and personal savings and investments. Get your money working. Thanks for keeping up with me here and watching the videos. And God bless. Have a great day.